Hello my beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and today we're talking about this new concealer from Too Faced. This is the Born This Way Ethereal Light Concealer. It just released. I purchased mine from the Sephora site. I picked up 2 different shades because I wasn't quite sure which one would be my perfect match. You'll get to see me test them and apply them during the demo portion of the video, but this concealer comes in 18 shades. That doesn't really seem like enough shades. I feel like we should be at least shooting for like 24. But anyway, there are 18 shades of this concealer. It's priced at $26 US a piece. And there's 5 milliliters of product in here. I'm gonna read you some of the highlights and claims from the Sephora site, and then I will address those claims along the way throughout this review, just to give us sort of a guideline of what we should be looking for with this product and how does the actual performance stack up against the claims that it's making. So this is a vegan formula, good for all my vegans out there. It's a natural finish. It has hyaluronic acid. It's supposed to be hydrating, long wearing, and waterproof. Now, the product description, I always love reading product descriptions. Usually they are so corny and so funny. This one looks pretty short though, so. It says it is a buttery, serum light, buildable concealer that effortlessly glides on skin to camouflage and cover up imperfections for 24 hours. We are not going to test 24 hours. That's crazy. I will say though, the serum light buildable claim, I definitely agree with. This is not a super thick feeling, creamy type of formula. This is a really lightweight, thinner, more, I want to say gel-like. It's not liquidy, it's not quite gel, it's somewhere in between, but it's definitely got a serum-esque type of viscosity to it, so I agree with that. Buildable, I definitely agree with. You'll get to see me building and layering this product later on in the video. When it says medium coverage, I would say sort of agree with that. I would definitely call this a light to medium coverage because you do have to really build this up to get a medium coverage. I would say light to medium's more accurate. Natural finish, pretty true. I would say we are in the dewy end of natural, but it's definitely not a really luminous, super glowy, like reflective metallic look to the face. Dewy end of natural, which is great. That's exactly what I'm looking for. This does have coconut water, so it is not coconut oil, but if you're allergic to coconut, you should probably just avoid all Too Faced products because I feel like everything has coconut in it now. So for my initial application, it seems like the claims are pretty accurate for me. As usual, I do think they're exaggerating the, 24-hour wear time and waterproof and all that. When a medium coverage concealer claims to be dewy, hydrating, and also waterproof for 24 hours, that does feel like a little bit of an exaggeration. I'm not gonna like dunk my head in the pool or anything to test that, but I am going to wear this throughout the day. I have a bunch of stuff to do around the house, and I'm also gonna be filming a lot, so just a pretty standard day of wear testing for me. I'm gonna try to get a good 6 to 8 hours with this concealer on. So let's just start at the beginning with the application demo, and then I'll show you my wear test check-ins throughout the day. Before we get to the actual concealer demo, I just wanted to show you a quick little close-up of the outer packaging, as well as the little applicator doe foot for this concealer, just to give you a well-rounded idea about this product. Next thing I want to do is show you some close-ups of my completely clean bare skin so that you can see where we're starting. That will give you a better idea of the coverage, and just overall I think this is useful for a demo and wear test for a base product like this, so that you can see what my starting point is, what my initial canvas looks like before we start applying anything. I do have some red spots and some, sun damage that I've acquired over my life, and little wrinkles and veins and things like that. So just remember that's normal. Everybody has that, and you have that, and that is okay. Now I'm testing the 2 colors that I picked up just to sort of figure out what's gonna look best, and I do end up using both of these. First, I'm just using the lighter color called Buttercup, and I'm doing a really tiny little 1-layer application under my eyes so that we can see how this builds. So here's a quick side-by-side with no concealer versus just a little one thin layer. Then I'm going to do another layer on that same side so that we can see how buildable this is. And I will do another quick close-up side-by-side with just the under eye application. I try to show you a lot of different applications and points along the way because we're all going to use these products differently and you may not wear it the exact same way I do. So I'm trying my best to show you a lot of different points and a lot of different applications. Here I am going to mix both of the colors that I purchased all over my face. Instead of using a foundation or a tinted moisturizer or anything, I'm just going to use this concealer all over my face, and that's where the 2 different shades really came in handy because I can still get a brightening effect with the lighter color placed strategically. Here's another side-by-side. This time is the all-over concealer on one side versus no product at all on the other side. And you can see it has really done a lot of evening out, but it still ends up looking very, very natural in my opinion. I think using 2 different shades did help contribute to the natural look on the skin, because strategically placing those 2 different shades does help keep some dimension, whereas just putting one concealer color all over one side of my face would make it look a little bit more flat. So I still get the nice brightening effect here. This worked really well as an all over face product for me. And the texture, the really thinner, more lightweight texture reminded me of sort of the Milk Makeup Sunshine Skin Tint, or even the LA Girl Tinted Foundation that I've been using a lot lately. It has a lighter, not quite liquidy, but definitely thinner than the average really creamy concealer type of texture. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my face because I am going to be wearing this makeup all day. I definitely do not want to go around with half a face of makeup. So I'm going to finish up the rest of my face very much in the same manner, mixing both of those concealer shades together and then just blending all over with that little e.l.f. brush. I'll try to remember to include the e.l.f. brush I used down in the description box for you as well because it worked really, really nicely with this concealer formula, and it is one that I like to use quite a lot. So now we're going to start with the wear test check-ins. Okay, let's do my first check-in. I've only been wearing this makeup for almost 2 hours now. As you can see, I finished the rest of my face. All I did was a little bit of Super Shock Cheek. I mixed together a blush and a highlighter. I'm not wearing any bronzer, I'm not wearing any powder, I'm not wearing any setting spray. Just a little Super Shock Cheek combo, some brow gel, eyeshadow, and lipstick. That's it. I try to do as minimal other face makeup as I possibly can when I'm wear testing something like this, just so that we don't interfere too much with the performance of the product. I am going to get really, really close up. We're going to take a look at this in HD, pores, wrinkles, nose crevices, everything, and just get down to the nitty-gritty of how this looks after about 2 hours of wear. First spot I want to check is the forehead wrinkles because I do get a lot of product that likes to gunk up in this area just because I have very expressive forehead wrinkles. And you know, it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look like we're really gunking up in there, especially since I didn't set this with anything. So I'm impressed. This definitely looks super skin-like. I mean, this looks like it could be a non-makeuped forehead, frankly. So I like that. Let's see how the under eyes are looking. Like I said, I don't think this is quite medium coverage because you can still see this little vein that's really visible through that thin under eye skin, which again is fine. I have a functioning circulatory system. That's definitely a good thing. But you know, you can tell that it's not super coverage. It's not what I would consider a medium coverage. It's more like a light medium, which is fine. I don't like a ton of coverage. I'm not going for a perfectly blank slate face. Personally, that's just not the look I'm going for. If that's what you want, this concealer is not going to give it to you. I do want just a little bit of evening out and a little bit of brightness and hydration, and I do feel like I'm getting that in this under eye area. And I purposefully didn't put a bunch of makeup under my eyes, eyeshadow wise, so that we wouldn't interfere with any creasing. And so far, it does not look like it's collecting much in the under eye area, maybe just a little bit right here, but not too shabby. Let's check the nose crevices. This is another place where product collects really easily for me. Maybe a little tiny bit right there, but really not too bad at all. You know, from a coverage standpoint, you can still, again, see some of my little redness spots, some of my, you know, hormonal redness around my nose. It's definitely a little bit more evened out, but it's not, you know, really covering up, which I don't mind. I don't mind my real skin peeking through because I think that helps my makeup overall look more natural. But if that's not what you're looking for, you're not comfortable with it, then, you know, you probably won't like this as much as I do, at least so far. Okay, not getting any dryness here. The chin and around the mouth is a place where I tend to get a lot of dry patches, along with kind of the center of my face, the center of my forehead. And so far it looks really glowy, really hydrated. I'm not getting a lot of dry patches. I'm not feeling like it's so glowy and hydrating that it's breaking apart on my skin. And it's also not bunching up in a lot of my problem areas. So far, this is exceeding my expectations. It's really hard to find a balance between something that is more hydrating but will stay in place without powder and setting spray and won't start to break apart or crease up in certain areas. It's only been 2 hours, so I'm gonna wear this. I'm gonna go live my life for a few more hours and charge my camera battery, and then we'll see how this holds up throughout the day. I'll check back in with you in a few hours. See you then. It'll be now for you. Later for me, now for you. See you now. All right, I'm doing my final check-in for the day. It's been about 7 hours of wearing this. And I have to say, overall, I think all of my makeup looks really good. I do need to touch up my lip product a little bit, but that's the only thing I've been touching up throughout the day at all. So that's a good sign. Hold on, let me take one more sip before I do my lip. Sip and then lip. It doesn't even really need that much touching up either, honestly. I will say it was a pretty light day for me. Even though I've been wearing this for 7 hours, I did a lot of just editing, creating content, just hanging out in my office. It's way too hot. Even Maggie doesn't want to go outside right now. It's literally 92 degrees and it's 5 o'clock right now. So it's crazy, just so hot all day. So I didn't really test the sweat proof aspect of this makeup, but in general, I think just 7 hours of existing with this on my face is a pretty decent little test run. Let's zoom in, look really, really close up and see how it wears, because I think from a distance, it looks just as good as when I applied it. You know, obviously I think my blush has faded a little bit, but that's pretty normal. And even so, I feel like it's still pretty good for all day. So let's look up close. Start with the forehead. Let's see if we got any concealer trapped in those forehead wrinkles. Really not. It's really not. I mean, this looks, as far as I can remember, this looks just like my last check-in several hours ago. So not mad, not mad. Let's see how the under eye creases look. We did have a little bit of bunching up in the creases before, but not anything too bad. Yeah, just a little bit there. Honestly, barely noticeable. It's not like people are going to be inspecting your under eyes like this, you know, but we're getting up close and personal for the reviews. Let's see if we got any nostril gunk. Just a little bit, sort of what it was like before. I do tend to lose coverage on my nose, and sometimes, especially if I'm on the phone, I didn't hold the phone up to my ear today at all. This doesn't look too bad, honestly. You know, I could see this redness and stuff peeking through before. Maybe it's a little bit, showing a little bit more now than it was. Maybe when I go back and watch this close-up check-in footage, I'll feel differently. But right now, I feel like it pretty much looks the same as it did before. And that's impressive to me, I gotta say. When it comes to the claims that this concealer makes, I do think it lives up to most of the claims. The only thing I'm kind of questioning is the coverage claim, because this claims to be a medium. I would say it's a light buildable up to like a light medium coverage. Maybe if I tried to pile on a ton of it, I could get up to a medium coverage, but I don't think anybody really wants to do that. I don't think that should be the expectation of any product. So that's the only one I'm kind of iffy on. The rest of the claims, I have to say, exceeded my expectations. As far as the wear time, I was kind of having a chuckle at that 24-hour wear time previously, because that's just such an outrageous claim. And, you know, overall, I'm never going to test this for 24 hours. I'm not going to wear my makeup for 24 hours. I hope none of you ever are in that situation. Please remove your makeup and do your skincare. But this lasted way longer and way better than I expected. I mean, it's been 7 hours and it hasn't budged. It looks exactly like it looked when I applied it, and I did no setting powder, no setting spray, no touch-ups throughout the day. So, you know, I'm pretty impressed as far as the wear time goes. The finish looks great. It looks really hydrated and beautiful without being too glowy and kind of fake metallic looking. This is definitely the type of coverage and the type of finish that I personally really like and will gravitate towards and will wear a lot. So I think when it comes down to, is this a good product or not? For me, this is a great product. This is exactly what I'm looking for in a concealer. But if you have oilier skin, or you're just in general looking for more coverage, then you probably won't enjoy this as much as I have. My only real complaint is just I wish there were more shades. I feel like 18 shades is a little bit of a stingy shade range, and especially a huge powerhouse brand like Too Faced, they really have the funding where they could put up the cash to make a bigger shade range. So, you know, hopefully it gets expanded, but in my opinion, I just wish there were more shades to choose from the get-go. I just have a feeling that when we're looking at a shade range that's only got 18 options, everybody from pale, medium, and deep skin tones are going to struggle to find the right shade and the right undertone. So I feel like that's really the only major miss here. Otherwise, product performance is way better than expected. It's really the perfect type of product for what I'm looking for, and I think it looks fantastic. I would love to hear what you think about this product. Have you tried it? Are you adding it to your list? Are you gonna wait, watch some more reviews? I always love to hear what you think about things too, so make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Try your best not to be distracted during this video by these amazing eyeshadows. I know it's gonna be hard. Okay. Weird, but okay. Later, hater. I am shedding so much. I mean, I always shed a lot. It's just, I got a lot of hair, so always happens after I wash it, I shed a lot. What a weirdo. Truly. Okay, hold on one sec. It's not an alcoholic beverage, it's a Sprite. I've been on a weird Sprite kick. I guess I shouldn't call it a Sprite kick because I don't drink one every day, but every few days I just get this like craving for a Sprite. I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna have one. That was a whole lot of talking and not a whole lot of saying anything. Hear what you think it... So make sure you... Why? It's the same outro every time. Why can't you say it? Me and my Sprite are going to go make dinner. Every time I say that I'm gonna go eat something, I feel like I've been telling you what I'm eating. I'm making a really, really good dinner tonight, so listen to this. Burger, pretzel bun, smoked Gouda cheese. Huh? What do you think about that? I like food that seems fancy. Other people hear that and they're like, oh, you're so fancy, but it's really super low effort. I love that. So when you say things like pretzel bun and smoked Gouda, that sounds really fancy, but it's literally just like bun and cheese. You don't really have to do anything. But one thing that I do like to do that also sounds fancy, tastes really good, but really isn't that much effort. Slice up some red onion into circles, right? Slice it up. And then when you saute it, put a little bit of balsamic vinegar on it. Oh, sauteed balsamic onions. Sounds so fancy, tastes so good, It's really no effort at all. You're literally just sauteing onions and putting vinegar on it. So good. Maybe that doesn't sound good to you. A lot of people don't like onions, they don't like vinegar, they don't like Gouda. That's fine. You're allowed, you eat whatever you like. I want to start a TikTok series where I show food that looks fancy, it sounds fancy, it really impresses people, but it's basically no effort at all, because that's really where I thrive. Let me know if you would watch that as a TikTok series, because I'm trying to post on TikTok every day now. It's really fun. Yeah, cool. Thanks for hanging out. You're awesome. I'm glad you're here. Even if you're not, a lot of people comment and say they're not interested in the product, but they just watch the video just to hang out with me. That is so cool. That's literally better for me than if you actually were interested in the product sometimes, because obviously I want to make videos that are helpful, but that's so nice. You know, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for being so cool. You're awesome. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. I'm gonna go make some burgers now because I'm super hungry. Okay, love your face. Bye.